Sometimes you can't help but compare yourself to other artists, and I am no exception. I'll see other people's sketchbook tours and wish mine had similar polished drawings, colorful paintings, and seemingly fully rendered art. But as I've grown as an artist and explored subject matter that is personal to me, I've come to terms with the fact that my sketchbook is ugly. And that's okay. My name is Maya, I also go by Mayo Paste, and this is my ugly sketchbook. First things first, this is just a simple Canson mixed media book that I got from Michaels. It's the 5.5 by 8.5 one, and I painted over it with a pretty cheap pink paint, and I thought I decorated it in a cute way, but I ended up leaving it as is, and the paint ended up getting dirty, so we're already starting off with a rough cover. We are not beating those ugly allegations. For some reason, I haven't finished a lot of sketchbooks that I've owned growing up, so this is a rare book that I have finished all the way through, that I started in my junior year of college and got to the last page of at the end of 2024. So here's the years of ideation, revision, and a whole bunch of jumble. It's a habit of mine to always skip the first page because it's so intimidating to have a nice beginning piece. I tell myself that I'll come back to it later and draw something cool, but I never do, so this puts less pressure on starting a new book, and I don't have to worry about an impressive first page. This first entry was a class assignment to identify my interests and explore subject matter that I resonated with, and I put animals, stylized figures, angelic features, dessert, and fruit. As you can see, I'm pretty sure this is the first time that I drew this Coco character, which I ended up taking and running with it, and now it's in like all my art. I had a few printmaking classes, and for this one we made eraser stamps. For this one I used 3 erasers, and it's called Sweet Home. I guess I just like to stamp it all over. More class assignments and a gouache experiment. Was this my first time using gouache? Looks like doo-doo. And some pen or ink swatches. That's cute. A lot of the pages are all over the place. And if I have any free space, I'll usually just fill in the next time I have an idea. Like here I have some math, and here I was drawing for an idea for a woodcut print, which I actually have once. It ended up being a little bit creepy looking because I etched outside of my guidelines, but it kind of has like a lonely, melancholy feel, so I titled it Abandoned. Yeah, I love printmaking. Here I was practicing my artist signature. Freshman year I made a bathroom series of objects that shouldn't belong in places that I really was proud of, and it was inspired by the poet Ogden Nash, and I liked the subtle humor, and I wanted to try doing more of these in other parts of the house. So for here I was exploring the kitchen. My favorite is utensil pencil. And I have these random torn edges throughout the book that I can't remember what I needed them for. It's like I took a bite out of my sketchbook. What is that? Here's a little illustration project. We had to make a whole story based off of just 2 lines of text by, it's called Knock by Frederick Brown. I don't really know where my brain was going with this now that I'm looking back at it, but I wanted to make it magical girl vibes. I still like it. I'm proud of this one. More printmaking stamps. I even have cake pop designs. This was for Christmas. If I have a picture, I'll pop it in here. This is storyboard for an animated loop, and this is a class assignment that we had to make a video for the company FMC. This is my whole storyboard for my escape animation that I only had 48 hours to do. And if you want to watch that short video next, it's on my channel. This is for my animal drawing class. We would have to go to a bunch of museums, like the Wagner Museum, the Museum of Natural Sciences in Philly, and just draw a bunch of the animals, which I have in a different sketchbook. This is just like the skeletal stuff that we were studying. And I realize I write a lot more than I draw. A lot of the times I like to describe my feelings before I actually draw it, or write about what mood I want to capture, and this just gives it history and context for myself. This is for a class. I wrote a lot of stuff for my short film that is also on this channel. And sketchbooks don't just have to be art. For me, it also serves as a journal. Most of my art directly pulls from a personal experience, and your art should tie in with what you believe in and stuff that relates to you. Writing my feelings down helps with inspiration. More cake pop designs. And these are like really early character designs for my main character in my film. More short film ideas. And every artist has their own system and their own creative mind and outputs it differently. But it doesn't diminish your process or the method that it takes to get to your finished art. More short film writing. This web was really helpful for figuring out a subject matter that I wanted to do for my film. So if you ever want to make your own film, start with a web. My sketchbook is more like a blueprint for the actual project. More writing for my sketchbook, playing around with the script. Oh, this was me figuring out my course schedule. What is in here? Critics, illustration portfolio, grad film, studio practice, environmental science. Here's a really early storyboard for Spotlight, my film. It's a map of the setting, the playground setting. And another storyboard, which I like looking at it because of this, like, it goes outside of the frames. Oops. More writing for a class. I guess this was my only journal when I was in school, so I kind of just did both classwork and drawing planning in this. More storyboarding. I really like this part. I just like the way that I drew my feet and hands here. And this was me planning for an animation installation, which was a bus, which I really regret not taking more pictures of, but basically it was inspired by my commute to school and how it differs from my commute in like elementary school. So a bus versus the train, and it was just like a half and half kind of deal. More storyboarding, and these are some more character designs. Chopper. This is me planning for my graduation exhibition. So many measurements. This is my concept. Measurements, planning, market research, and this is my very first screen print storyboard that I felt so compelled to paint in with gouache. But yeah, these are the different layers. I think this is for my environmental science class about octopus. And then these are some of my pin ideas that I made with my friend, and some of them did come to life. I have examples. So like this flower turned into that, and I have this cake, this party pop, magical girl, and then the shooting star. Yeah, it's really cool to see them actually come from paper to physical object. This is me figuring out my logo and my brand, which I might make a video about the process of coming up with a logo and branding and making your own website. Oh, this is a self-promo project that, what was this for? I think it was for the exhibition, and you'd hand out something that was like promoting your artwork in a cool way. So I have an example here. It has my logo, my info on the back, but it's just like a little wheel of this character, and you can change the hat and what it's holding. Like, we got a chef, we got a little party pup, like my little pin, and an artist, of course, little princess, bunny. Yeah, and it's just like a little fun thing to give to guests that came by my exhibition, and just kind of like show them what fun I like to have with my art. More planning, more writing, some scribbles, my cat, Egg, and then I think we just had to do some real life drawing for class. And what is this? Like, I have another ripped corner. I don't know why I was ripping these. This is pedestal planning, which I ended up completely not even doing this road idea for my bus/train sculpture. I ended up doing the pedestal with my logo on it, which you'll probably see a picture of. This is a new film idea. This is some AR animation planning. I even like cut out a freaking whole page out. Yeah, so, oh, this is film festivals and job internships that I applied for, which I did end up getting into some, and I feel like I could make a video on the whole film festival experience if people are interested. This is me writing my maid of honor speech for my sister. I literally like wrote a timeline of our life, and some inspiration for a new exhibition that I had at the end of last year. Oh, and this is what I mean, like, when my sketchbook is a blueprint for the actual project, because look at this sketch versus the actual painting. And some Biko lyrics that we had to sing for a party that I just wanted to write the translations down. And that is the end of the book. At the end of the day, it's not that serious. Your sketchbook is for you. And yeah, it'd be cool to impress others with a sick book that they can flip through and go ooh and ah about, but if that's not you and you're gonna overexert yourself putting that much energy into making each page perfect, then tone it back. You don't have to impress anyone, just connect with what you make. No pressure. When it's all said and done, the sketchbook will be living in your room or your studio, not a museum. Fill your sketchbook the way you want to because your eyes are most important. My sketchbook may be ugly, but I know the meaning in these pages and the hours poured into every little entry. Little scribbles lead to bigger outcomes. It doesn't matter if your book doesn't look as good as other artists because that's you and that's your style. And why would you want to copy someone else's aesthetic process if it's not authentic to you? This goes past just sketchbooks. It also applies to your body of artwork as a whole. So draw what you love, work with what you know, and make art that's you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!